Yeah, morning traders. From a corporate level, it's all eyes on what's happening in Twitter. The stock closing at $51.69. A little bit of a discount to Musk's bid, but I wouldn't read too much into that. So a bit of water to go until this is fully done. Potentially some regulatory hurdles still to come. But I wouldn't read necessarily too much into that situation. But Musk getting it done, once again, you don't bet against Musk. And obviously, shareholders looking at that one very closely indeed. And you'd love to be a fly on the wall on Musk's first day in Twitter headquarters. There's going to be obviously some radical changes playing through. I suppose you've got to really have a look at what's happening in Alphabet and Microsoft. The stock's seeing good gains coming through there. I think they've driven the tech sector. Obviously, everyone watching what happens in the session ahead. Both stocks report after hours. Alphabet's expected move on the day. The implied move is around 7%. Microsoft about 5%. So you can see some volatility in those, but people are buying ahead of that, or at least covering shorts into that one there as well. Now those stocks have driven good gains coming through in the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq futures got below 13,200, and we've seen a really strong rally off those lows. We saw S&P futures trade below 4,200, and again the buyers have really stepped in, so that's supported, and that's to lend some weight to the Asia session ahead going forward. Not just what we've been seeing in dollar CNH, China obviously being a big talking point as they cut out reserve ratio requirements by 1 percentage point. So obviously everyone of them focused on what's happening in the COVID testing in Beijing being expanded to the whole city, and we saw weakness playing through in Chinese equity markets yesterday. Now we are expecting those markets to open on a slightly firmer footing. We are watching dollar CNH very, very closely as indeed as that got into 661. Bit of selling playing through as the Chinese announced that reserve ratio requirement cuts. Part of that is down to try and limit the depreciation in the renminbi. But as we saw the dollar CNH coming under a bit of pressure on that announcement, we've seen some buyers step in the Aussie dollar. That's come off from the lows of 71.35. Euro dollar got down to sort of 107 below that figure, and then we've seen some supports traded sideways. Crude's been under pressure. It's down about 3.3%, but it has come well off the lows. Copper's down 2.2%, again off the lows there. And gold's an interesting one, closing at 18.97, down $33 on the day. Obviously a reflection of the broad US dollar strength that we've been seeing throughout the day. So one to watch. We are watching what's happening in the FX complex throughout the day, watching that Chinese fix at 11:15, and obviously seeing how Asia trades on the back of that.